Hello, everybody. My name is Bo Bennett, and I am the creator and founder of PottyHost.com. I want to tell you what it is and why you want it. Well, first, let's just take a look at some examples so you can see what it actually creates. If you go to the podcast title right over here and click on that, you'll be able to see a bunch of podcasts that we have added already. So let's go to, let's say, the Biased Brain podcast. And this is my podcast. You can see we got the podcast image, we've got what it's about, and we've got links for users to subscribe to the podcast on pretty much any platform you can imagine. You could search the podcasts, you could see all the posts sorted by date, and then you could also click on any one of these little tags that'll take you to something specific, some specific content within different posts. But basically, we just have the layout. We have a 3x3 layout of the different posts. And you can see they look nice. This is a really cool image. And AI generated all of this. And let's click into one of the posts. The format of the post is the title, the image, and then the audio player.
Decoding intergroup bias.
And then it tells you about the podcast, and then it goes on to the text of the podcast that's actually narrated by the audio. After the conclusion, after the podcast, you'll see our ad, and this is one of the reasons why you want a blog and a podcast, because you want to promote a different product. So I'm promoting my book, but I'm also promoting my course, both having to do with cognitive biases. That's why this podcast is perfect, because it attracts the traffic that I want in order to sell them, or at least present to them, my course and my book on cognitive biases. Now let's get back to the whole idea of the podcast and the blog. It's a blog and a podcast because we want the text-based interaction for people who just want to come on and read. And the blog part is what really helps you with search engine optimization. So it will hopefully score high for the keywords that you're going after, because every single post is focusing on those keywords. So now, for example, when somebody types in cognitive biases, after a few weeks, a month, whatever, my blog will be at the top of that list, hopefully. And then people will come and read all about cognitive biases, and they'll say, oh, look, I could take a course on cognitive biases. Great, I'm going to enroll. Or they could say, hey, I want to buy the book. In the article right over here, it talks about my book, The Biased Brain. So you could click on that and you could purchase the book. That's what this is all about. And of course, the other part of it is the podcast itself. So if people are on iTunes or Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts, you can search there. Say somebody wants cognitive biases. They search, my podcast will come up. They subscribe to it. And then the audio version will talk about my product, my book and my course, and that's how I promote it that way. So we're getting people both from the internet, the classic text-based internet, and also the podcasting area of it as well. That's why it's a blog and a podcast. So how many of these do you need? Well, if you have like one book or just one product or one website you're promoting, one will be fine. However, if you're like me and you have hundreds of different products, services, books, whatever, then you want a lot. And basically, I have one podcast for every product, or I will eventually. Right now, I've got well over 50, that's right, 50 different podcasts that I'm posting daily. Now, you're probably thinking, how could you post daily to 50 podcasts? Well, it's easier than it sounds. First of all, it only takes literally seconds to make a post with AI. And that's seconds, meaning of your time, the time that it takes you. It does some work in the background, but you don't have to stick around for that. So it creates the image, it creates the blog post, and it does the narration for you. Everything. And how do I do so many? Well, I don't do them all at like every day. I don't keep on doing this. I schedule them. So I do them once a week. Once a week I'll go in and I'll spend about an hour and I'll go through all of this and I'll create all the posts. I'll do the appropriate checks and then they'll be released every day for the next week. So that's all it takes, and I could easily manage over 50 different blogs and podcasts this way. That's the power of PoddyHost. So if you are interested and I sold you on it, well, great. Come over to poddyhost.com and go ahead and register. You could scroll down and you'll see the register now links. You could register up at the top. And then you get your free account. You could see what you get for the free account here. Or if you just want to go jump right into it and you know you want to do this and you want to create a lot of them, well, go with one of the different plans that mostly differ from the free one by the number of podcasts and blogs that you're allowed to have. So take a look and sign up, and I hope to see you soon.